Welcome YouTube, it's Chief Monkey J out in rather wet, rainy woods. I've had a couple of requests to show everybody how I did my jute twine in a bit more detail to make a nice little bit of fire starting equipment. So here we go, hopefully we can satisfy everybody and show them in nice detail. So, jute twine, we've gone and bought today a brand new packet. It was £1.75 and I pulled off approximately 7 foot. Now that is approximate, it's not too big a deal if it's too long or too short. See what you got really, don't you? So find your centre and we're going to start. Now, this is how we start. Take our fingers, I'm going to put it over our index finger, I'm going to go underneath our middle, back underneath the top. So we're going to do that about 4 times, approximately. Keep the tension on it. We can resort all this out in a minute if it slips. About 4 times, we've got quite a bit left over, so I'm just going to bang an extra loop on that to take it up. So this one's going to be quite thick. So, how do we start it? Our first knot. Now, what I'm going to do is switch my hand around, and hopefully I can do this. How's that? Are we in the shot there, Scott?
Yep.
So, we've got 2 ends now, a left and a right, and we're always going to work from the same place. So, our right one's going to go round the front of everything. Our left one, which is this one, is going to go underneath the right, round the back, and through this loop, but between your fingers. That's really tricky. The first one is always tricky. There we go. Now, as you can see, we have a left and a right. That should be even down under here. And all we do is work it tight. Get the first pull. Now it starts to make a knot there. And we're going to do exactly the same again before we transfer this off our hands, to make sure it's extra secure. So, like I said, over the top. This one goes round behind it, through its loop, and then start pulling tight, and it will sit underneath the first knot. So, got our first knot there, and we're fairly secure on the cordage. So what we'll do, we're going to take this off our fingers onto this nice handy stick. Nice handy stick with a 0.1 end, because we need to work from one side only. If I just slide that on there. Now what I can do is push this knot up, clamp round the stick. Pull that a bit tighter, and then cunningly pull our loops down tight at the bottom. Right. When you're happy, give everything a final tweak, and we've got it on our stick. That's the first loop there, and that's the second loop there. So, all we need to do now is work all the way down the jute. I go like that, and it pulls left and right. Give them nice good tugs, and what that does is it tightens up on the inside, and each knot you'll see just drops on the other one. So we'll explain the process again. So your left hand loop, if you're working from the left, the other side if you're working from the right, but I'm working from the left, goes round the front. Your right hand tail goes over the top of your left hand tail, right the way round the back and through it. So as you can see, as I pull this down and pull up the other side, it starts to knot left and right. We pull them in, and each knot walks a little way further around from its predecessor. So what we'll do is we'll work further down and then come back to you and show you how the process continues on. Okay. Right, we've got so far down here, as we can see, the helix is starting to happen. So I'm just going to put another loop on and show you guys something. Same as before, carrying on, always from the same direction. Now, some of you might get to the point where you're pulling them up, and this happens. Your tails are no longer in line with your knot that's running on. And that's not to worry, all you need to do is pull the tail of the direction that you need to go, and then tighten up the opposite side and keep pulling it back, and then it will come back in line. The other important thing to do is really start to yank these down. The tighter you get it, the better it will be. And I don't know if you can hear on the video the creaking of the cord there, but I am really compressing the cord in the middle to make this really, really stiff. The tighter I get it, the better it's going to be for holding out water and keeping all the bundles nice together when we cut this. So we'll keep on going down, finish the helix off, and looks like I'll end up with an extra bit of string, so I shall show you what you can do to help eliminate that when we get to the bottom. Join me again in a moment.
Right, let's try and get some light on it.
Right everybody, as you can see we got quite far down, and it starts to coil in this lovely shape.
You could crank that straight up.
So what we'll do is we'll just straighten it out in a minute.
Whoa.
Oh, that's tight. So, getting down, we've got quite a lot of string left over. So a trick you can do, if you can do it, if you haven't coiled them so tight, grab all your bottom coils and this top and push them up like a sleeve. But unfortunately, I pulled on this so tight,
it ain't budging.
Oh, there it goes a bit, and you can see the gap
cramps
right up. So it's given us a little bit more room. So we'll make sure we're still working from the same edge and carry on a bit more. And we're nearly finished, so what I'll do is I'll get onto the bottom, tidy it all up, and then I've got a nice gentleman sat beside me who's going to let me know what he thinks of it. So we'll be back in a moment. Right there. Bill?
Yep.
Right, YouTube, we reached the bottom. As you can see, makes this really, really tight core. Now, we've still got our stick in it, and we've got this lovely rib down it, but it's quite long. So all we need to do is twist this up. Now this beautiful helicoil. Stick we don't need, so that can come out. Thrown into our fire. Oh, it's getting chilly out here. We'll get our carabiner poke it through. We now have a nice bit of tinder. If you're rowing on neck knives or anything like that, or a lanyard round your neck to keep it warm, I've got one in here somewhere, like this. Just clip it on, add it to your
EDC.
EDC. We always carry EDC. So let's pan this camera over to my colleague and see what he thinks of it.
Scary face.
So then, Scott, what do you think of?
Well, it's pretty cool because I saw it. All you did was literally chop 10mm off, didn't you?
Yep.
And you use a pointy knife and you fluff it up.
Yep. And away you go.
And that's not undoing, is it?
I think you could play with that all day long. It wouldn't undo.
Well, I've been known to. No,
and you had a go at
I'm actually giving that some serious stress there, and that's staying in it. Very good. And you can
really shrink it up. And you had a go at tying that as well halfway down.
Yeah,
what do you think of the tying system? Fairly easy to do?
Yeah. Loop that way, then it goes up, and goes round the back, tie it up, and you can sort of creep the knots round that way, or that way.
And Scott will tell you how much pull I was able to pull on that cord.
Cranking it. Of course, if you pull toe tight, you can't shunt the cords back up. But if you do it tight to start with, the water ain't going to get in, is it? Excellent bit of kit. And you can have that on the end of your knife, around your neck, or say it, on his own little carabiner.
There you go, my friend, you can have that.
Thank you.
And add that to your bottom of your booshy or something. Or put it on your necker. Put it on your booshy necker. There you go, look at that.
I'm a lucky man. Thank you.
Green and orange, that goes.
Yeah.
Right, YouTube, Chief Monkey J, thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been more instructional for you than the last time we did it. Anything else, any comments, please add them at the bottom, and we'll get back to you. See you later.